We are the largest public research university in the United States, and by definition, planet Earth. Therefore, we're trying to work with our community to make sure that future generations have the resources they need to succeed. And in order to do that, it doesn't matter what happens today or tomorrow or next week. So I try to remind myself that as an investor, the importance of patience and thinking about the long term. Whilst we talk about it, I need to practice it.
Hello everyone, we are at TiECon 2023 and joining me is Jagdeep Singh Bachher, who is the Chief Investment Officer for the University of California. Welcome sir to Yo India TV with me, Jasleen Khanuja.
Sat Shri Akal, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. And it was such an honor to listen you as the grand closing speaker for the day. And my question will be very brief and to the point. You know, as a student of ICWA in India, I just learned that one should not put all the eggs in one basket, and that's the key to the investment. And you are leading this big portfolio of millions of dollars, and as you mentioned, you care a lot about this investment being there for the future of America, right? What are the top 3 aspects of investment that you always keep in mind while making the decisions?
The first thing is to be patient. And patience means being able to weather the storm and all the difficulties that happen when you are investing. And in order to be patient, you are better off doing fewer things, because then you have the time to understand what you're investing in and be able to take a longer time horizon. And then the third thing is, don't always try to do things that are complicated. And anything you invest in, make sure you understand it. Because something will always go wrong. But if you don't understand it, then you end up getting in trouble. And so simplicity and understanding things. And I guess the most important rule I would say that summarizes all of these 3 things is whenever somebody brings me a great opportunity, I try to ask the question, does my mother understand this?
Oh, wow.
Because if I can go home and explain this to my kids or my mother or my wife, then I understand it well. And if you can do that and you can be patient, chances are you might have a good return over the long term.
I think any leader in this room, and you're all leaders, you're investors, you're entrepreneurs, our responsibilities and our jobs do not end in the technical products that we develop or in the GUI interfaces or the modern language models that we invent and artificial intelligence that we cook up. It doesn't end there. You have to worry about the ethical implications of what you design. You have to worry about how it impacts human beings. You have to think about the social implications of your decisions and your actions. So I think my job is tough, yet it's exciting in a way, because it isn't just about investing. If I just was investing, that would be one thing. But I have to think about climate change. I have to think about fossil fuels and the risks we take by investing in fossil fuels. I have to think about environmental, social governance issues. I have to think about, lately, the affordable housing crisis we have in California and the blue states and the United States of America. I have to think about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and why it is important to have women and people of color in the roles that we want them to succeed in. And I have to think about why 98% of the white men in America are the ones that are managing, or 98% of the money that's managed in America is by white men. These are issues that go beyond investing, but left unaddressed, they make the life of an investor very difficult. So I can be tough and I can be challenging because of the complexity of the issues, but because we work on these tough things, we're hoping we can make things better for our university and broadly for society, and we can make a small difference in having an impact because of the investments that we make and the choices that we are afforded to make on a daily basis.
So for all the viewers, like, what is the best risk mitigation strategy? Because with all investments, there comes some or the other risk.
There is always risk, you're absolutely right. But I think if you look at the environment we are in today, right now, if you simply invest in cash or bonds, you can earn between 4 and 6%, 3, 4, 5%. And that's the floor of taking risk. And then if you want to earn more, you can go after different types of investments like being in the stock market or investing in real estate or other things.
And crypto as well.
Sorry, I'm not quite sure what crypto is anymore. I kind of forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we talked about crypto for a second. The same principles I described to you earlier, can you explain it to your mother? Mm-hmm. Is it simple enough? Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't understand many investments, so I try not to adventure into them. Because taking risk is about understanding what you're taking the risks in. And if you don't understand the risks, then you shouldn't be investing. So ultimately, the simplest thing to invest in is all in front of us. And if you make it any more complicated, just make sure you understand the risks you're taking.
Thank you so much.
So I realized that one of the most important things I can do every day, or at the end of a year, is take the time to write a journey. So I obsess over this. And Diane is looking at me and she knows that this is my absolute passion, is to sit down and think about the story for this year, why it matters, what it says, and how to tell it to the 500,000 to 600,000 people in our community. So I take the time for months. I pick every word. I work very closely with Diane, my chief of staff. We articulate the message. We pick the charts. We pick the colors. And we go through this experience in a very fun way, because you gotta have fun. So by doing that, what it does is it gives me an opportunity to chart the journey over the last year. And that journey will define the history of the time that I spent with my team at the University of California. And it inspires me when I read about it 3 years from now. Every time I start to write a new annual report, I go back and read every previous annual report that I wrote to remember where I came from so I can figure out where we're going. And this is just a passion of mine. And candidly, not just is it a passion of mine, even the designers we use. In fact, on the 16th of May, they just got the Art Director of New York. They got a gold and 2 silver medal awards for our annual report this year. So it really is a work of art and a work of thinking and a work of a journey. But most importantly, when I'm gone and the next CIO comes in, it'll tell you why we made the decisions that are going to impact the next 100 years of how we invest for the benefit of your kids.